Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to remove video from a video file and just keep the audio in React Native's new architecture for iOS. So let's get started. So first of all I will show you the output. So here I have two buttons, one called pick video and one called save video. If I click on pick video, it opens the video picker. So here you can see list of all videos which are present. I only have one. I'll select that and okay, I'll select this, and what it does is as you saw, like, it has removed the video and it is just playing the audio. I have muted the audio and it plays the audio inside AV player view controller, and if I want I can just save this audio as well, and if it is saved inside your Photos app. If I go to my Photos app again, here you can see this particular audio file has been saved. So this is our audio file. Again, it is just for removing video from a video file. So let's see how to do this. Now first of all, you should keep this documentation handy because turbo modules. So because we will be making use of new architecture and I will be copying a lot of code from this documentation. That's why. Next, firstly, as soon as you create your React Native project, first thing which you have to do is you will have to cd to your iOS directory inside your terminal and then run this command. So this will enable the new architecture for iOS. Once that is done, you will have to create a folder called RTN My Transform. You can name it anything what you want, but you will have to follow some naming convention which has been specified in the documentation. So better you follow my naming convention. Later on you can change it to whatever you feel like. So I have created this folder. Inside that I have to create package.json file. Now I have copy pasted this from the documentation itself. So only this name has been changed, this has been changed, this has been changed, and this has been changed. Everything else remains the same. Next, I have created a podspec file. Again, I have copied it from the documentation, and only this name changes. Everything else will remain the same. Next, inside JS folder I have created a TypeScript file, and here again I have copy pasted everything from docs. Only this name, this method, these two methods I have added, and this name has been changed. We will be overriding these two methods inside our native iOS code. Now if you follow the docs, it says that create an iOS folder inside RTN My Transform. I haven't done that because we want to make use of Swift, and it's very difficult to write Swift code if you create the iOS folder over here itself. So that's why I'm not creating that. I will create it inside the main iOS folder itself. So the next thing which you will have to do is again open your terminal, go to the root of your React Native project, and then you will just have to run this command. So this will do all sorts, add this dependency to our node modules. Then you will have to do cd dot dot, so something like this, cd dot dot. It will move you outside your React Native project. Then you will have to run this command, but instead of rnapp iOS, you will have to write your own project name. As you can see over here, my project name is rnapp iOS, but you write your own project name over here as well as over here. Rest everything remains the same. This is my folder name. Once you do that, again cd back to the main iOS folder inside your terminal and then run this command. So this will do code generation for iOS as well. So then you will have to open the iOS XE workspace inside Xcode. So I have already opened that. Now again we will be following the documentation. So first I have added this inside info.plist. I have added this photo library usage description permission. This would be required for saving the video to the Photos app. Next, I have created this header file as mentioned in the documentation. Again, I have copied everything from docs. Only this name, this, and this changes according to our folder name. And next, you have to create an Objective-C file and change the extension to .mm. So it becomes Objective-C++ file. And again, I have copy pasted everything from the docs. Only this name changes. Okay, before copying the code, you have to create a Swift file. So I have created a Swift file called My Transform, and Xcode will ask, do you want to create a bridging header? Just click yes, then it will create a bridging header file for you. Then coming back to our Objective-C code, so again this name I have changed. Then we have to write an extra bit of code which is not in the docs. We have to import our Swift file. So again, this should be your bridging header name. So my bridging header name is rnapp iOS. So write your own bridging header name. -swift.h will be common for everyone. Again, this has been copied from docs, only this name has been changed. Here we are initializing our Swift file. This has been copied from docs, only this name has been changed. And here we are overriding our transform method, where we will get the video URL. So here we are calling the transform with video URL, which has been defined inside our Swift file, which I will show you shortly. And given that it uses async event, we will have to use completion handler on Objective-C side. And once we have the proper transformed URL, we just create an AV player item, then an AV player, then on the main thread we create an AV player view controller, assign it our player to our player view controller. Then we need to get hold of our root view controller, so for that we have to write this logic, and with the help of root view controller we present our AV player view controller to the user and start playing the audio or video file. Okay, and otherwise for save I'm just calling the save method of our Swift file. So that's it on Objective-C++. Then open your Swift file, and here firstly you will have to add import for AVKit and photos. We don't really require this. I hope so this is not required. And here we just create an NS object. We create a final URL which will help us to store the particular file. So particular file to Photos app. And once transform video is called, it takes our video URL. We create a file manager, AV mutable composition, as well as AV URL asset. Then here we create a composition of video track, but we are only taking the audio. Similarly for source video track, we are only taking the audio again. Then we take the duration of the entire video, we create time range out of it, and here then we insert the time range inside our video, inside our track. And here we just create an export path as well as an export URL. If file already exists, I delete it. Then we create an AV asset export session. We create an assign our export URL to our output URL. We create an output file type as well. Then we export it, and whatever is the export URL, we assign it to our final URL and return it back. For saving, we just check if final URL is not equal to empty. Then we request for photos permission. So for that I have defined this method, so you can copy paste it. And once we have the permission, then we call perform changes, create request for asset from video, pass our final URL. If it is success, print it to the console, otherwise we print the error message to the console. So that's it on the Swift side. Next what we'll have to do is you also need to install this particular dependency, React Native Image Picker, which will help us to pick videos from Photos app. Once you install this, you might want to run this again, because we need to do pod install. So just don't run pod install. You will have to run this entire command by seeding it to your iOS folder. Once you do that, you can just import launch image library from React Native Image Picker, and here I have imported my own folder. And as you can see, I have just two buttons. On press of second button, we are just calling save method from RTN transform, and on click of first button we call pick video. And if the user has picked a valid video and it has some URI, then we just send that URI back to our transformed method, which will call the Objective-C code, which in turn calls the Swift code. So yeah, I think that's it. Also I think one more thing is you might have to update the iOS deployment target to at least 15. So yeah, be careful with that. Thank you for watching. Bye.